Hello, I am Marc Vila, Director of Marketing at ColDesi.
I'm Don Copeland. I'm Director of UV and non-textile goods. Basically, it's Spitz Ink. I'm in charge of it here at ColDesi.
And today we are here to talk about one of our most favorite products and one of our most favorite technologies that's out there right now, which is direct-to-film printing. It has taken over more than many other things have in the industry. And I know, Don, you've been doing this for decades. What's your opinion on direct-to-film and how it's become hot?
You had to bring up the old thing so early on, didn't you? You know, it's funny because I know a lot of us, including the folks we're working with here, have been around for a while. And I remember us making this bold statement about 20 years ago of DTG is going to replace screen printing. We were wrong. It did replace a small segment of screen printing. We're seeing now with DTF that DTF is indeed replacing new screen printing operations. I think more and more, I haven't seen real numbers, but I guarantee you that the sales of screen printing presses and whatnot have declined radically. But it is certainly replacing DTG. So I think this is certainly here to stay, and we're seeing, continued growth in it. We're 5 years into this as a company selling it, and it is by far the most drastic spike in sales of products we've ever sold.
Yeah, and it's the most honest answer I think I could have gotten from you, Don. Right? Like we've made some predictions in the past, or other people have in the past, and now we're actually seeing it happening. And one of the things that we run into is when screen printers, what are they looking for? Consistently, we're being told high production, good quality output, reliability. This is what they want. And ColDesi has been pushing and fighting to create the actual answer for that for large scale screen printing shops. And we have that answer today, which is the 24H5E direct to film printer by ColDesi. And it is a fast printer. It's a reliable printer, and the output is just outstanding. I know Don's reaction to the 24H5E was great. So why don't you maybe just give us what your reaction was when we put that to market?
I don't think I'm allowed to use the words I used the first time we saw it run, but you get the idea. Let me frame stuff up a little bit. We sell a broad range of machines. They range from, Etsy store type of in your bedroom, production units, all the way up. And then we get to our 24H5 line of printers. We're talking specifically about the E here, but we brought in the 24H5 3 CMYK2 white machine that gave us great production, great speed. And then we found out there was a surprise here. We could actually drive it faster than the dryers could keep up with, right? I was doing everything in my power to try to get 200 linear feet per hour out of a dryer, and I still didn't have my foot all the way down on the pedal. on the printer.
That's awesome.
Right?
Don, we're about to get into it, right? So we promised that we would say this together where we're going to get into this on, right? So why don't we try to do this together? So Don, let's get into it and put it all on the spot on WIN PrintSpot.
WIN PrintSpot.
Jeez.
Welcome, everyone. I'm MJ.
And I'm Dan Barefoot. And you've just stepped into WIN PrintSpot.
If you are new here, this is our Shark Tank style show for print. No business investment here. It's all about investing in the product. No drama, just real products, real insights, and real product facts to help you make smarter buying decisions.
We cut through the noise, skip the fluff, and we get straight to what matters, because in this business, the right equipment decision makes all the difference.
Every episode kicks off with the big picture. what's happening in the market, where it's headed, and where the real opportunities are.
And then we zoom in, breaking down the product, the specs, the performance in a factual format and how it actually fits into your workflow.
And today, we're diving into one of the hottest, fastest moving segments in print.
That's right, DTF. And not just any DTF, we're featuring a powerhouse in garment production.
ColDesi, a name known for delivering complete, production-ready solutions that shops can rely on.
And today, we're putting the spotlight on one of their latest releases, the 24H5E DTF system.
Even better, we've got two of ColDesi's top minds joining us.
Marc Vila breaking down the market, the trends, and where the decorators are winning.
And Don Copeland diving into what makes the ColDesi lineup stand out from the competition.
So if you're looking to grow, scale, or sharpen your edge in DTF,
You're in the right place.
so MJ, let's get into it because every great product story starts the same way.
With the market. To guide us through the market, we're joined by Marc Vila, Director of Marketing from ColDesi, and one of the industry's most respected voices on DTF.
Serving as our chief market expert today, Marc brings a frontline view of what's happening in garment decoration, from evolving trends to what really drives growth on the production floor.
Marc, welcome. We're glad to have you with us on WIN PrintSpot. Let's start with the market. What's fueling the surge in DTF? What are the curators demanding from their materials and systems today? And just how fast is this segment expanding?
Well, thanks, Dan and MJ. Much appreciated. And this market and this segment is exploding. And it's expanding really quickly for a few reasons, in my opinion, that make perfect sense. They're just basic logic, right? Is that the consumer now wants what they want, and they want it quickly. That's as simple as it comes, right? And screen printing typically does not deliver exactly what you want, and it's not delivered very quickly, right? It does not exactly do those two things. If somebody wants a picturesque image, or they want an exact photo of a puppy or a baby on a shirt, you have to make compromises with screen printing. With direct-to-film printing and digital printing in general, you don't make compromises, so the customer can get exactly what they want. And because this can be completed right on a printer, run a digital printer with all the steps being done automatically quickly, it's significantly quicker too. So you can set up and complete a job in minutes, no longer in hours. So those are a couple reasons. And then the third reason why is just the change in the labor force in the US here. Screen printing requires a lot of training, and it requires years or a lifetime to master. And that is a challenge with the change in the workforce nowadays and skilled labor. So you can teach somebody how to operate your direct-to-film printer and be pretty darn good at it in a morning compared to months of training in screen print. Now that you have an understanding of the market and where it's going, back to Dan and MJ.
Marc, that gives us great insight into the market and the opportunities surrounding systems like the ColDesi 24H5E DTF printer system. Thank you.
Now that we understand what's driving demand and what the curators are looking for, let's move into the product itself.
Please welcome our Chief Product Expert, Don Copeland, Director of Non-Textile and UV Solutions at ColDesi. Don brings deep expertise across DTF, UV, and UV DTF, and a strong understanding of real-world production environments.
Don will walk us through today's feature system, the ColDesi 24H5E, and then break down the specifications, or as we like to say here, just the facts. Don, you're up.
Thanks, MJ and Dan. First, let's just get a quick overview of the product itself. So I'm pleased to introduce today to you the product we're really talking about, which is our ColDesi DTF 24H5E. There's an E at the end to differentiate it from our other 24H5s. The E stands for extended because it's an extended dryer that we use. And it's a fully integrated solution compared to anything else that's on the marketplace. You can't compare it. We've worked very closely together with 3 different manufacturers to come together into a solution, printer, a pre-curing system, and a dryer that allows us to produce the best quality, high-speed transfers on the marketplace, and to do it in a relatively contained size format, as well as minimal. We're looking at a single 220/30 amp and then a 110 single outlet to run the system. It is really the whole solution for someone who's looking to do high volume output. We have a number of our larger customers that are running multiple machines, and they're finding realistic numbers of 250 to 275 linear feet per hour. When you start to look at that, my general rule is every linear foot on a 24-inch machine translates into 2 shirts, right? And you're starting to look at numbers of 500, 550, smaller design, 600 or more per outer out of a single machine. And that really is a game changer for people, especially where they need high production and limitation of space. As Marc indicated earlier on in our conversations, screen printers are starting to look into this now as ways to replace presses, right? And people who are getting into the market, who are considering buying presses, are trying to look at things that require less space, less energy, less understanding of film separations. You can take the whole list of things that are reasons to go digital instead of going analog like we have, even with a lot more digital aspects of screen printing now with direct to screen and things like that. This is still the way to do it for high production, high quality, variable ability, variable data and whatnot. Those things are all beneficial to the DTF. This just takes it to the next level because of the speed that we have from the machine. And now, as I used to say, just the facts, man. Let's get into the facts of the machine. It is a 24-inch 5-head machine. We can get you exact dimensions. In fact, we'll have that in the video of the actual footprint. But roughly, you're looking at a machine that's about 6.5 feet wide, and stem to stern, we're about 17, 18 feet from the back of the printer to the exit of the dryer. It is set up. Basically, you have the printer, then we have a ramp unit that actually does some pre-curing on the ink before it even gets into the dryer. This amazing impact of giving us much softer prints, much less hang up of, or what I call just satellites of powder sticking to the film. And it allows us to run through at full speed without any hiccups. The dryer itself is smart. When you come to the end of the roll, which you do quite frequently when you're running at 275 linear feet per hour, or if you stop the printer for any reason, the dryer senses that it's no longer being fed film and it goes into a neutral state that cools itself down a little bit so you're not burning film that's in the machine. It's a very easy dryer to load, so your operators are able to transition very quickly when they put a new roll in to get things going and just keep production rolling. It also uses a take-up reel that has a dancer, much like the back of the printer does, so you don't have a jerking motion as it's coming out of the dryer as well. It is a full-blown, full thought-out setup that compares to nothing else in the marketplace. And so as it's said here on WIN PrintSpot, just the facts, no fluff, no hype, just the facts.
This is some impressive technology being showcased today, and it's easy to see how ColDesi has engineered the ColDesi 24H5E DTF printer system to meet the demands of today's garment decorators. But the best part is seeing it in action in the demo.
I agree, MJ. It's time to see the 24H5E in action. After all, seeing is believing.
So we've been talking about it. Let's see what it does. Let's jump in here. We're going to go through a live demo on the machine itself, showing you the features, the facts, things we've talked about, and you get to see with your own eyes exactly what this thing can do.
A lot of people ask us, well, how many transfers is that? The number we like to talk about is about 500 t-shirt transfers per hour. So truly high speed. Hello, Marc Vila with ColDesi, and today we're here to talk about our 24H5E direct-to-film printer. This printer is designed for a high-speed, high-production print shop that wants to keep up with your customers' demands and produce a beautiful output. So as I show you this, we'll show each part in piece. Let's go ahead and start in the back and where all the printing starts. The first thing I want to show you is where the film is coming from, and this is our motorized dancer system. This system is going to keep consistent and constant proper tension on your transfer film. So as your printer is coming through and the speed is changing, it keeps great tension, which is going to have perfect alignment throughout this entire high-speed system. The other important thing to talk about is going to be our ink delivery system. This is a bulk ink CMYKW system with white ink circulation built in to keep everything running perfect and keep up with the ink demands of a fast producing print shop. Let's go around the front and watch it print. So here we are looking at our 5-head printer printing CMYK and white. This is designed for high speed mode right here. Now the 24H5E direct-to-film printer from ColDesi does come in other modes with different dryers, like extended gamut with orange and green, or just a smaller configuration for lighter production. But the unit we're looking at today is going to be our 24H5E system. The next thing to talk about is going to be our heat table that we have here. So this table is designed to perfectly heat and pre-cure your transfers before they reach powder application. This is going to mean that you get the ideal amount of powder on those transfers. Not too much, not too little, just enough for perfect colors, great wash, and that great feel that you want on a premium t-shirt. Next, we're going to move over to the dryer system. There's a bunch of cool smart features about this. So as the film is coming in, there are two things happening down there. We're still getting a little bit more of a preheat to make sure that the temperature is optimal for receiving that powder application. We also have a sensor down there. That sensor is going to make sure that there actually is film ready to receive in. If your printer has stopped printing and there's not any film coming in, the dryer is not going to keep going. There's also an automated system for your powder. So as the system runs low on powder, it's going to automatically detect this. It is going to go ahead and evenly distribute more powder into the system. And if you are low on powder, the system will stop and alert you as well, so you're not running transfers without proper and even powder application. Next, we'll go ahead and just talk about the actual extended dryer unit itself. This is an extra long dryer designed to be able to keep up with the true speed of the 24H5E system, running at max capacity, which roughly we can say is 275 plus linear feet per hour. Or a lot of people ask us, well, how many transfers is that? The number we like to talk about is about 500 full front style t-shirt transfers per hour. So truly high speed, and you need this type of dryer to truly keep up with that to get perfect cures and fantastic prints. Finally, we've got the finishing of our system, which again is a motorized system with a dancer bar to keep perfect tension as this is coming through. It is being cooled off, so you're not having hot transfers being wrapped around, potentially creating a mess. And then you have that electronic system in the back keeping the tension perfect. So when your jobs are done, you can pull the roll right off and go to the next step in your production. Thank you for taking the time to learn a bit about our ColDesi 24H5E high-speed, high-production direct-to-film system. To learn more, go to coldesi.com and live chat with one of our pros.
Super impressive results. Then, this is it.
This is the moment, the one that matters most. the big pitch.
You've heard the market, you've seen the product. Now Don set up to answer the only question that matters. Why the 24H5E DTF system from ColDesi? Here's the pitch.
So we've been through some of the details, some of the overview. So why add the 24H5 to your business? It's a great question, and I'm going to hopefully answer that in a few different points. Number one, you need high production and you need reliability. This is a proven system. We've been using the 24H5 format for well over a year, and we're over 6 months shipping the high speed with the high speed dryer. You're getting a reliable solution that will easily outproduce two of any other, including our own machines in the marketplace. So you have one investment into a machine, one footprint you have to worry about, one electric that you have to run. It goes on and on. Number two, you're dealing with a company that's been doing this since the genesis of DTF here in the marketplace. We've been at this for over 5 years, been shipping machines since October of 21, got our first machine in May of 2021, and we're just experienced, well over 2,500 machines in the field. We work with the best manufacturers, not just for the equipment. We deal with the best engineers internally to work with our manufacturers to give us the best product. We are continually testing and quality testing and assuring our consumables. We process all of our inks right here in our offices in Clearwater, Florida. We have the best software integration. We have a relationship with our software manufacturer that goes back, in my case, over 30 years. So it's the whole package. This is not just about a piece of equipment. It is about investing with a company that's here to support you, grow your business. It's here to listen to you, to implement things that work in your business, that make things better for you. This is not a one and done type of situation. It's a growing process. The 24H5, dollar to dollar, there's no comparison of any other machines in the marketplace, and it's going to give you the best output, the best throughput of any machine, and it's going to be up and running very quickly. It's going to come to you fully prepped, ready to rock and roll. If that doesn't convince you, I don't know what's going to.
You've seen the market, you've seen the capabilities, the facts, and the demo, and you've seen how and why ColDesi and the 24H5E is the DTF market leader in its space and will continue to be.
Now you're on the spot. The choice is yours.
This is WIN PrintSpot.
That wraps up an informative session with ColDesi. Then it's time to put the viewers on the spot.
You're right, MJ. Now it's up to you, the viewer,
To make the choice. You're on the spot.
Thanks for joining us on WIN PrintSpot.